You stepped off the plane, your bags are heavy, your brain is fried, and suddenly every single decision you made back home feels completely theoretical. Because now it's real. Now you actually have to live here. And the next 72 hours are going to determine whether this whole adventure starts with momentum or with chaos. I've been through this. I've watched hundreds of people go through this. And there is a massive difference between the people who land with a plan and the people who land with just excitement. Excitement runs out, a plan keeps you moving. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what to prioritize the moment your feet hit foreign ground. Because the decisions you make in those first hours matter more than almost anything you planned for months. Let's start before you even leave the airport. The first thing you need before you hail a cab, before you figure out your accommodation, before you do anything else, is a working local SIM card. This sounds small. It is not small. Your ability to navigate, communicate, translate, book things, and solve problems in real time depends entirely on having a data connection that actually works. Your home country SIM is either going to charge you a fortune or barely function. Neither of those is acceptable when you're trying to build a new life. Most major international airports have SIM vendors either inside arrivals or immediately outside. Look for official carrier stores rather than random kiosks if you can. The official carriers will register the SIM properly to your passport, which matters in countries where that's legally required, and it saves you headaches later. Prepaid plans in most popular expat destinations are genuinely affordable. Get more data than you think you need for that first month. You will use it. If the airport options look terrible, ask your accommodation host what carrier works best in your specific neighborhood, because signal strength genuinely varies by area in ways that no review website will tell you. Your phone is now your lifeline. Protect it accordingly. Now you need to get to your temporary housing. And yes, I said temporary because unless you made a perfect decision from thousands of miles away, you should not have locked yourself into a long-term lease before you actually understand the city. Your first housing is a base camp, not your forever home. It needs to be comfortable enough to function, centrally located enough to explore, and flexible enough to leave. Serviced apartments and monthly furnished rentals are usually better than hotels for this phase because they have kitchen access and a sense of normalcy that a hotel room just cannot replicate. You need to be able to make coffee in the morning without spending money every single time. Small things like that preserve your mental energy for bigger decisions. Once you drop your bags and take a breath, resist the urge to immediately book every tourist experience or spend the afternoon sightseeing. I know that feels counterintuitive. You're in a new country, you want to see things. But the first 48 hours belong to logistics, not leisure. The sightseeing will be infinitely more enjoyable once you've sorted out the foundation. Here's what the foundation looks like. You need 3 things in the first 2 days. First, you need to find your neighborhood grocery anchor. This is the supermarket or market closest to where you're staying that you will realistically use regularly. Not the tourist market, not the fancy imported goods store, the actual place where local people buy food. Walk there. Go inside. Understand what's available, what things cost, and what the rhythm of shopping looks like in your new country. This single act does something powerful psychologically. It turns an abstract foreign place into somewhere you live. It grounds you. And it starts teaching you about local prices in a way that will protect you from overspending in those first confusing weeks. Second, you need to understand your immediate transportation options. Where is the nearest metro stop or bus route? How does the ticketing system work? What does a local ride cost? If you spend your first 2 weeks relying on taxis or rideshare apps everywhere you go, you'll spend a lot of money and miss how the city actually moves. Give yourself one afternoon to just ride public transit with no agenda. Figure out the system before you need to rely on it for something urgent. Third, figure out your banking situation within the first 48 hours. You should already have an international-friendly account set up, whether that's Wise, Revolut, Charles Schwab, or whatever works for your home country. But now you need to understand where the ATMs are, whether your cards work correctly, and what the local cash culture looks like. Some countries are almost entirely cashless. Others expect cash for nearly every transaction. Find out which world you've landed in immediately. After those 3 pillars are in place, then you can start exploring. And when you do, explore with intention. Walk different neighborhoods at different times of day. Pay attention to where people actually gather, where the cafes fill up, where the evening energy goes. You are not just a tourist now. You are someone evaluating whether this could genuinely be your world. That requires a different kind of attention. Notice the things that would matter in daily life. Is there a pharmacy nearby? Is the street noise manageable at night? Does the neighborhood feel alive in a way that suits you, or does it feel like somewhere you'd just tolerate? The emotional reality of that first week is that you will feel genuinely disoriented. Maybe excited and disoriented simultaneously, which is its own specific kind of overwhelming. That's completely normal. Every single person who has ever moved abroad has stood in a foreign supermarket aisle at some point, completely unable to figure out which product is which, questioning every choice they ever made. You will have that moment. But here's what separates the people who make it work from the people who don't. It's not confidence, it's not money, it's not language skills, it's the willingness to stay in motion even when everything feels uncertain. Momentum is everything in those first days. Keep taking small practical steps forward. Local SIM, temporary base, grocery anchor, transit system, banking confirmed. Once those pieces click into place, the adventure actually begins. And trust me, it is absolutely worth it.